Hey there fellow YouTubers, this is Anthony with Home Guitar Mods. In this week's Tolink video, we're going to talk about the Monster Classic Instrument Cable. Let's get started. Alright, so like I said, we're going to talk about the Monster Classic Series cable from the good folks at Monster Cable. Now, an instrument cable is the most vital part of your signal path for your instrument. Without it, you can't get your instrument signal from your instrument to wherever it's going. And I can't tell you how many times I've had a guy walk up to me either asking for a guitar strap or an instrument cable, and they're left scrounging the stage for whatever they can find to plug their instrument into. You want to make sure you have a quality cable that you know will be quiet, will get your signal where it needs to go, and will be reliable night after night. Now let's talk about the features of this cable. The Classic Series cable comes with a 90% copper spiral wrap shielding. Now what that means is with most instrument cables, and it should be all instrument cables, or all good ones anyway, your tip or positive, the part that your signal goes out to, is actually a strand of wires that runs down the center of the cable. That's often wrapped in either a plastic or another rubber, part of the cable, and then around that is your ring or the ground of the cable, and that often wraps around that entire center portion of the cable, the core, and then that is covered with the jacket of the cable. Now what that does is it takes away any RF interference or electrical interference or interference from lights or amplifiers, wherever you could get interference, and pulls that away from your signal, which gives you a clean cable, gives you a clean signal path, gives you reduced noise, and less interference with your cable. And if you've ever had a cheap cable and you've set it next to something, you'll get noise. Often it's because that shielding isn't designed quite as well and it's not able to pull away that interference. It's got a Duraflex jacket, which is what the cable's made of on the outside, and I find it's incredibly resilient. This cable can be smashed in some ways it shouldn't be, and has lasted incredibly well. I believe it's the same material that the standard 100 series cable is made out of, and probably the same thing all their cables are, and I find that it stands up to a lot of abuse. Last but not least, probably the coolest feature of this cable are the metal classic connectors. So let's talk about the ends of the Classic Series cable. Obviously, it's a metal end, which makes it the Classic Series. It's like a classic instrument cable. They've gone away from the plastic rubber end of some of their other series cables and gone to a more classic end, which, for marketing purposes, I'm sure, more traditional guys will like. But there's some really neat engineering going on in this end, which we're going to talk about. In your standard right-angle cable, you've got obviously the body, which can be unscrewed here, and you can get in there and repair the cable. And you've got your plug. But the plug sits flush against the body of the barrel here. The problem with these, if you're a Tele player, is you cannot use a right-angle cable on a Telecaster, at least without changing your jack or moving some things around. So if you've got a standard, like my 72 here, the standard cup style input jack, you can't use a right-angle cable. You put it in there, and the body of the plug gets in the way and prevents you from fully inserting the plug. So you're just up a creek without a paddle. You have to use a straight cable, and that's what you're stuck with. But not so with the good folks at Monster Cable. They've actually engineered a little, I don't know what you call it, a jut or a little portion here that sticks out that allows you to fit the cable in these cup style jacks. So the jack itself, although recessed, will receive the Monster Cable plug here. So you can now use a right-angle cord on your Telecaster. Now maybe there's some other companies already doing this and I just haven't seen. If so, please leave a comment down below. But as far as I know, this is the only right-angle cable that you can use with a Telecaster, which is awesome if you're a fan of right-angle instrument cables. The other end is nothing all that fancy. It's just like any other straight instrument cable end. The other difference would be you can't take these apart. So let's talk price and warranty. Price for a right-angle 21-foot instrument cable, and I think it's both a right angle and the straight. I don't think there's a price difference there. It's about $30. Now what you get for $30 is an amazing, quiet, quality cable that's going to be durable and last for a long time. The other part of this is, let's say the cable does fail. Monster has an amazing warranty program. The only reason I even got these is I had one of my other standard 100 cables short out. I went into my local dealer. I told them the cable was ruined. I wanted to buy a new one, and they just handed me a new one off the wall. No questions asked. They handed me a cable. So you spend $30 one time, and as long as Monster's still around and their warranty stays the same and holds up, you are guaranteed to have an instrument cable for the rest of your life. Paying $30 once. I mean, think about that. Say you bought a cable now and they stick around 50 years from now. Even if you have 4 or 5 of these things short out, you only had to pay $30 one time. You're not buying a new instrument cable every single time or fighting with a warranty program from somebody else. You walk in, hand them the cable, they hand you a new one. My overall opinion of these cables is it's been an amazing instrument cable. It's quiet, it's durable, and it gets my signal or my guitar sound where it needs to go cleanly, quietly, without noise, without interference. And really, these have stood up the test of time. I've got about 8 months of use on the other one. This one's been obviously in the package and have had 0 issues, which to me is really important. It's got a great warranty. You're guaranteed to buy one cable, and if it goes out, you just simply take it and replace it. And to me, that provides peace of mind, as well as I find is a great value for the money. This is a great cable. They've got some great engineering on the ends, and you can tell they put a lot of time and effort in designing this cable. Well, this is Anthony with Home Guitar Mods. As always, thanks for watching, and remember to keep rocking and keep modding. Alright, so like I said, we're going to talk about the Monster Classic Series instrument cable. Now, this is a... that's not what I want to say at all. And whatnot. Blah, blah, blah. This is too much. The jack itself, or the plug itself, sorry, not the jack, is Monster Series. That's the Classic Series. That's what makes this, in the barrel, or the main body of the jack, not jack. You got your nice Fender Tele